Hey guys, it's Nicole. I am back to do one more kit video, and I know that pretty soon I'm going to be getting all my new supplies from A Cherry on Top. I'm waiting. There's some stuff that was pre-order and they wait till they send it all together. But I know that once I get that stuff, I'm going to have a whole bunch of new manufacturer's kits to play with. And when I say manufacturer's kits, for those of you who are new to my channel, what I do is if I like a line, I generally buy almost all of it. I put it together in a bag and then I play with it as a kit because it's all pre-coordinated for you. Until I'm either sick of it or I've used up most of it, and then I separate it, the different parts of the kit into my room. So I'll put my papers with the papers, my embellishments with the embellishments, and I'll separate it out. Sometimes if it's a smaller kit to start off with, like some manufacturers don't have a ton of embellishment options. Off the top of my head, like Allison Kreft. I love her stuff, but her embellishments are kind of lacking, and a lot of her embellishments are flat. And I know it changes a little bit depending on who she's designing for. Like Webster's Pages had some more dimensional embellishments, but sometimes you just don't have a lot of options for dimension. And so if it's a smaller kit to start off with, then what I'll do is I'll shop my room and I'll add to the kit. And so I'll then use up old supplies with new supplies, which makes the old supplies funner to use, but also I get to still play with the fresh stuff as well. And then it's good because I'm using up old supplies, which is a really good thing. When I get to a point where I don't have any new kits to play with, then I make my own kits. So I'll go through and I'll put together 8 to 10 pattern papers, then I'll pick out all, I'll just go to my room and go to the different sections of my room and make my own kits. I haven't gotten to that point for a while where I've needed to do that. I still do it once in a while just for fun, but I have so many kits that are waiting for me to play with them. I sound as though I'm treating them like they're a being. But here, I'll show you really quick, just to show you an example. And I think I've showed this before, but this, if I can get it here, this basket, like that is full of kits. And it goes around. Like, there's some packed in there, on the floor. So, I really want to get these lines used up before the new stuff comes in, because then I can just play with that. And for those of you who are new to my channel, my mantra is use up the new stuff. Like, for a long time, would force myself to go back and use up old supplies before I let myself play with new supplies. And by the time I got to that point, my new supplies were now old. And I was never motivated to use anything that I had because I would always put that pressure on myself. So now I mix it up, which helps. I'm much more motivated to use my old supplies if I mix it in with new. But I let myself play with the new stuff first. And then if I want to integrate older stuff into what I do, even if I just decide, what, I'm never going to use this, then I just get it out of my room. That has worked best for me. So anyway, this kit today is actually a combination of 5 lines, and I'm doing that because I want to get through that huge pile over there. And a lot of these color schemes are very similar, and I don't see myself being motivated to use them on 5 separate occasions. I think it's going to make more sense for me to use it together. I did that with the chalk line, the chalkboard themed lines, because I see myself kind of getting sick of that chalkboard theme after so long. Here it's kind of similar. It's more of what I would call boyish colors, like the blues, greens, reds. I don't use that color scheme a lot, but somehow over the last couple of years I've accumulated a few of mostly my mind's eye paper lines that are that color scheme. However, a couple of them have reds in them, some pinks in them, and some oranges. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple more paper lines that had that color scheme, so I have a good variety to work with this kit. And I'm really excited to play with it. And it gives me choices that aren't necessarily more masculine feeling, because I'll have some pinks and stuff in there, so that'll be good. So I'm going to show you this kit. I'll show you one by one and how I'm adding it together. The ones that initially made me think that it was time to maybe combine some of these was this For the Record kit by Echo Park. And as you can tell, it's like the greens, blues, yellows. And then there's some blacks and some other, like some craft and some neutrals. But I had that, and then I got this recently from my Mind's Eye. And I looked at that and thought those should go together because neither one of them are super embellishment heavy. I didn't get a ton of each of them. Well, Echo Park doesn't have very many embellishment options anyway, but my Mind's Eye, I hadn't gotten all of it, so I thought, okay, let's combine these two together. So I just flipped through all my kits really quick to see if there were any more that were like that. And I came across this one, also my Mind's Eye, which adds in some oranges, and the tones are a little bit darker, but I still think it'll go really well together. But yeah, so it adds in the oranges, but like the different tones of blue, the navy, the aquas, the yellows, all go really well with the other two. And then I found, what did I find first? I found this one, which is also my Mind's Eye. And this is a cut and paste, the Fresh line. And it has a lot of the blues and the greens. But then as you can see, this also, and I'll show you more detail, it also adds in that pale pink and some brighter greens and some reds. And so I thought, well, that would be good because I don't know how many layouts I could do with just blue, green, or blue, green, and yellow. So to have some pink in there will be really helpful for me, being I have two girls. A lot of my pictures are more feminine. This can help me integrate the rest of these into more girly pages. And so then I'm like, well, let's get one more. I want to try to find one more, either some of my old supplies or another kit that also has some more of that red and pink. And I did find that the newer my Mind's Eye, the Mildred, is very similar. So we have the blues and greens, reds, pinks, and this adds in some gold, which will be a nice addition as well. So I'm still staying within the general realm of that blue, green, yellow, but adding in some reds and pinks is going to give me some more options. And so really quickly, I'm just going to show you what this kit will have in it. And I won't go into too much detail because it's obviously a lot of product. So this will also be a massive kit, but I think it's going to make sense for me to work with all these products together versus on separate occasions, because I think I'll probably get tired of that color scheme pretty quickly. So, and then it gets 5 bags out of my pile over here, which is really good. So here's the Echo Park. This is For the Record 2 by Lori Whitlock. And it's really pretty. It just has the greens, blues, blacks, yellows. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. Here's the sticker sheet. Oops. And I need to move. Excuse me, some stuff off my desk here so I can make it. Oops. And somehow I have 2 packs in here. Not for sure. I think I know what happened. I think I maybe ordered it, and then I think Hobby Lobby had it at half price, and I got a second one. So I'd have 2 of each sheet. I'm going to guess that's what happened. Okay, so then there's also this sticker sheet. So I'm going to have basically 2 of each of these. And then I'll have 2 of each paper because I have a whole other paper pack there. So yeah, I don't know how to show you this. Just so you get an idea of the color scheme. You have like the craft, black, blues, greens, yellows. Okay? Then I found this journaling card pack that matches it. This is For the Record. This isn't For the Record 2 though. So I wonder if you know what, I bet I have the original For the Record. That's the same color scheme because this one has some oranges in it. So I'll look for that because then if I have the old For the Record, if I have it I'll show you the color scheme. So the original For the Record also had some pink in it. So I know I have that somewhere. I don't think I have very much of it. I think maybe just some papers. Okay, are we focusing? But I had this card pack that must have went with that. So I'm going to add that to the kit. I had the brads. Sorry, that threw me off. I was thinking that that went with the For the Record too, but it's the original For the Record, and I know I have it somewhere. Okay, anyway, here's the brads. And then I'm adding in these Jelly Bean Soup pea pod parts, 50 die cut pieces, and just that same color scheme, aquas, yellows, and greens, and then there's some craft in there, or gray. Feels like more of a gray, but it'll be a good neutral. Okay, and then I wonder. That's different. Okay. Okay. So then My Mind's Eye. This is Milo. So this is a new one. And I won't go into too much detail, I just showed it. But I got a few of the papers, not all of them. But this has some of that gray, blues, aquas, craft, and the yellows. So same color scheme. And then some stickers. Some more journaling cards. I'll have plenty of those. Sorry if the lighting's kind of bad. I have that bright window in the back, and it kind of throws everything off kilter. A 6x6 paper pad. Die cut pack. There's 25 pieces in here. And some chipboard buttons. And regular buttons. So I can't tell if this is focusing or not. And then the chipboard sheet. Okay. Okay. And then an older My Mind's Eye. So this is a cut and paste charm. And this adds in a few different colors, that orange, like a darker orange. And otherwise, everything else I think is pretty much the same. I have quite a bit of this paper. This is from the last release. But again, except for that orange being added in, the rest of the colors are all the same. Some neutrals, grays, crafts, the navy blues, the aquas, yellows. So that's going to go really well. And the washi tape. Oops. Stickers. So I'm going to have so many options for flat and dimensional both. So stickers. 6x6 paper pad. Got a bunch of the die cuts. I'm not going to show them all individually, but just so you have an idea. Some more bits and pieces. These are a little bit more dimensional. Card. Brads. Buttons. And enamel dots. Okay. And then the next one adds in some of the pinks. And this is also My Mind's Eye. And this is the Fresh line, Presh, Presh, P-R-E-S-H. And this adds in some orange as well. It seems like it's a little bit brighter, but then this also adds in the reds and the pinks. But then you're back to the crafts, the blues, yellows. There's the reds. Not a lot of greens in this one. But it introduces those two. There's like the oranges. It introduces in the reds and the pinks, which I really like because that'll give me more options. but it's still going to coordinate with the rest of the lines because of those aquas and yellows and oranges. Here's the washi, where you have die cuts and cards, dimensional stickers, chipboard stickers, brads, enamel dots, the enamel shapes, chipboard buttons, regular buttons, and then stickers, more stickers, and then a 6x6 paper pad. So this one definitely adds more brightness to the line and more variety, which I really appreciate. Because just working with, you know, aqua, green and yellow could get old after a little while. So then the last line I'm adding into this is the, I think this is new. You have the new Mildred, My Mind's Eye. And here's the chipboard. So this one's very similar to the last one in that it introduces some pinks and some brighter greens, but then you still have your aquas and greens and not much yellow, but it does add in some gold, which will be nice. So let's go through. Oops. These papers are different sizes. It's so weird to me. Okay, now maybe I'll check this one out. There we go. So on the surface, you wouldn't have necessarily put this with the the first two, but again, you have some colors in them that match. So while I have extra colors, I still have those blues and greens that are going to coordinate with the papers from that line. So you can make it totally work. And then this adds in more of the pinks as well. And so with this one, I have the cards. So I have plenty of journaling cards, title cards, the buttons, the stickers and alphas, these stickers here, brads, more die cuts, 6x6 paper pads. I'm going to have a ton of paper. And then the washi. So that is it. That is my next big kit. It's 5 different paper lines combined. And again, some of these you wouldn't think, gosh, those would totally work well together. But it doesn't, coordinating doesn't mean you have to have all identical colors together. Coordinating means that the colors work well together. If you have, say, a couple of different pattern papers, you know, each pattern doesn't have to have the exact colors in them. If you have a couple of the colors that work together or that match, then you can use the other colors to add more interest to the page, to use pull in embellishments from those colors. So there's, you know, lots of times in the past that I've felt like things have to be really matchy-matchy, and that isn't necessarily the case. And so I for sure can find it's easier for me now to put different patterns together that you wouldn't think off the top of your head would go well. But because they have a couple of those combined pieces that work together, then you can integrate the rest of it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I'm trying to think of an example here. So let's see. So here is let me see here. I don't want to bore you, but I wanted to show an example. And some of these are just very, like, okay, so here is the Now and Then from My Mind's Eye from the Milo. And here is from the Mildred. So this is the new. and this is the old. And I don't know how well you can see that, but those greens, this green is perfect with that green. So while this entire paper line may not completely coordinate with this, bits and pieces can coordinate together. That to me is a really fun combination. The greens are perfect. A lot of times companies will do that, like I know Dear Lizzy does that. They make it so that you can use your old and new lines together. And they do that for a reason. They do that to, you know, to make us more incentivized to buy, because we know that we can use it with their older supplies. So these are old and new, and they match perfectly. Let's come up with another. Let's add in those pinks here. So here is this cut and paste fresh, which adds in the pinks and the reds. And I'm going to go to one of the first two kits because those are the ones that are more different. And here is, okay, so here's a blue you could do. Here we go. Here's a, so this one is from the Echo Park. So completely different manufacturer. But there's that darker blue, matches perfectly. Right there, right here. And they're really fun patterns together. So just because they don't all coordinate with each and every single piece. See, here's a really pretty yellow. Also, that could go. Because they have some commonalities within the lines, you can mix and match and make them work together. Another issue sometimes is that some lines are white based and some lines are cream based. And nowadays that doesn't seem to be such an issue because a lot of manufacturers are doing that within their lines. They're actually making it so that some of their papers are white based and some of their papers are cream based. So unless that really bothers you, sometimes it can make a difference in the feel of a layout. So that's something that you'll have to weigh. But from looking at these really briefly, almost all of them are white based, it looks like. There's a couple that are more cream, and that's okay. I'll just make sure that I combine them with other cream based or solids, you know, that don't have any kind of white or cream neutral in them. Like this one to me feels a little bit more cream based, but so are some of the older lines. So that will be fine. There's not going to be any issues at all getting those together. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just babbling at this point. But, oh, I'm sorry, a couple more things. I also then went through my stash and I added in 3 of these embellishment packs. Not that I need them because I think I have quite a few embellishments. But these all, when I looked at them, felt to me like they were a little bit more masculine. They had more of the reds, blues, greens, less of the pinks, oranges, yellows, you know, those more girly lines. Especially this one has a lot of that navy blue and the red, and has some really cute die cuts in them. This one has, again, a variety of different blues and the reds. This is K & Company. And then this one is from Jelly Bean Soup, and it has more of the greens and the yellows and reds. I think there's maybe a few blues in there, but again, just more options. And these are older supplies that I haven't had for super long. I just got them at Hobby Lobby not that long ago, but I think they've been out for a while. But they all have different aspects of the color schemes, and will just add to my options. So that will be good. So that is it for now. I'm trying to think if I had any questions I wasn't able to answer. Sometimes people will comment and you can't reply to them, and I don't know if it's because of their settings. I have made some videos in the past kind of explaining my kits and how I work with them. I did a little bit at the beginning of this video too, but if you have any more questions, let me know, and I'll reply to you and answer any questions. I'm a big believer in shopping your own stash, and if you can create your own kits, especially if you're on a budget, or like I said, adding in old supplies to your new supplies and creating a kit out of those two things, because then it freshens up your old supplies and makes sure you use them, but you also get to play with the new stuff, which is really important in my book for sure. So anyway, I will quit babbling. If you have any questions, let me know. This is a ginormous kit. It's going to be really fun to play with, and I have 2 other kits waiting for me that I've showed you guys, the chalkboard kit, and I've been playing with the new My Mind's Eye Dorothy kit, so I have one layout made from that, and that's it. And need to get to working on that. That's probably going to be my next step, is getting that finished up and showing you those layouts, and then I'll get to these two ginormous multi-manufacturer kits. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.